Multiple safes broken into, drawers ripped open, closets ransacked, boxes of...
What the feds just uncovered in Floyd Mayweather's house is terrifying. They're going after Floyd Mayweather's bag. Remember the brother that walked around with $100 million check in his bag, said he ain't even got to cash it? Well, they on his line.
I think it got to right now because the money gone. So the money's really gone.
In a shocking twist, reports claim the FBI exposed what's being described as a $420 million fraud case tied to Floyd Money Mayweather. Authorities allegedly swept through his Las Vegas estate, uncovering signs of large-scale financial schemes, questionable investment deals, and unusual offshore accounts, sending shockwaves through the former champion's luxury-driven empire. The story exploded even further when ESPN's most outspoken analyst, Stephen A. Smith, delivered a fiery and unfiltered response that instantly ignited public debate.
I show you a couple toys. They call this the $1 million garage.
I know we're on television, Floyd, but I think it's necessary for me to say, damn.
Well, we are on ESPN. These are sports cars. It's a sports network. This car costs $3.2 million. This Bugatti right here costs $1.6 million. You ain't seen these toys.
I haven't seen these?
No.
What? Floyd, this is 7 cars, man. Silver, platinum, Miami, black LA, white Vegas.
Yeah, in New York, I got my drivers.
Federal authorities reportedly descended on Mayweather's luxury Las Vegas residence as part of an expanding probe. Early coverage suggested the operation connects to a layered financial network involving front companies, crypto-based money movement, and bogus investment programs allegedly tied to people within his close circle.
Hey, what's up, everybody? So check it out. This morning I was walking through Beverly Hills and I passed by Floyd Mayweather's $30 million mansion. It's over 15,000 square feet with 6 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, resort-style backyard.
Sources say investigators collected numerous digital devices, detailed transaction files, offshore account paperwork, and protected financial logs during the operation. The funds being examined are estimated around $420 million, all reportedly connected to suspected large-scale financial fraud.
Into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me.
For years, he proudly showcased a high roller image, private jets, rare supercars, diamond-covered jewelry, and rooms stacked with cash. But investigators now suspect that part of that fortune may have come from unlawful channels. Leaked paperwork reportedly indicates he may have either knowingly backed or publicly fronted questionable investment operations that allegedly cheated thousands of victims, especially in international markets.
How much is it?
$1.8 million.
$1.8 million watch.
$1.8 million, dude?
You're the first to see it.
That's insane. That
1.8 is high. 18 life.
Happy birthday, champ.
That's how we doing.
1 point. That is sick, dude.
But you gotta show him what he's saying.
Money green.
No,
Hold on. This watch was made specifically for the champ, Floyd Money Mayweather. 101 piece.
One of one.
Money team. Can we see it on him? Yes, sir.
That one of one.
$1.8 million.
It's a one of one. I love that.
Stephen A. Smith has personally observed the ultra-luxury world that Floyd Mayweather operates in, his massive home, elite car collection, and constant private jet travel. Because he's seen that success up close, Smith understands the scale of Floyd's earnings and the discipline behind building such a financial powerhouse. That direct exposure gives him a distinct viewpoint on how the boxing star runs his business affairs and manages his money empire.
Mayweather was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand.
Yeah.
He would go into a ring knowing he had no shot at knocking somebody out because his hands were hurt too much, and literally walked in the ring and said, I'm going to embarrass you and humiliate you by showing the world you can't hit me.
What makes Stephen A. Smith's intense reaction carry extra weight is that he's actually been inside Floyd Mayweather's residence himself. In earlier interviews and podcast appearances, he portrayed the property as a living symbol of achievement, proof of how far one person can rise through skill, discipline, and smart self-promotion.
Why? Talk to me about why you make the decision to drive different colored cars in respective cities.
Spoiled brat.
Oh, just being a brat?
Just being a brat.
The 7 cars that you showed me are in excess of $15 to $20 million.
Let me see what's the number. We go 3-1.
And you don't drive them.
It's close to 15 million. You're right. It's close to 15 million.
Once Mayweather entered the next chapter of his career, exhibition fights, his motivations appeared driven by profit rather than legacy. His bout with Logan Paul stands out as a prime example. Stephen A. Smith openly criticized the match, noting it offered little competitive merit for a former champion of Mayweather's caliber. Facing a YouTuber-turned-amateur boxer came across as a money grab rather than a pursuit of greatness.
Boxers, if not the greatest boxer in history. He's absolutely sensational. But he retired years ago. And for me personally, I know these exhibition matches are entertaining. I like the one with Conor McGregor. Not so much the one with Logan Paul. Looking at these exhibitions and all of that stuff, that little melee and stuff don't matter to me. As far as I'm concerned, it could have potentially been orchestrated. I don't know. But I do know not just anybody should be allowed to be in the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather.
Absolutely.
I just believe.
When questioned about payment disputes raised by Logan Paul during an appearance on the Pivot podcast, Floyd Mayweather sidestepped the issue. He told the host he supports the YouTube space and suggested the funds weren't missing, just delayed, adding that large payouts don't always arrive instantly. His answer came across as deflective, framing the controversy as a routine timing matter instead of a refusal to settle what was owed to Logan Paul on the Pivot podcast.
Logan Paul, he said you owe him some bread. How you feel about someone making those type of accusations?
That comes with the territory.
Right.
And you got to realize, when you used to getting, to them, that's real money. And I like YouTube because I don't mind getting a YouTube check.
Shit, we getting a YouTube check.
Right.
This is going to be a big YouTube check.
Yeah, so, the money is not coming fast enough. That's why when they say money on the back end, as far as pay-per-view, it take a while, And he shouldn't trip. If he feel like he done great numbers and we done record-breaking numbers, then I understand. Nothing comes right away. Just like I'm still collecting checks from fights 7 to 8 years ago. I'm still collecting checks. Why? Because I made smart moves and I'm my own boss. So they hate when a table is turned.
Right.
Look how many years they've been owing us money. But we don't never trip. So now when the table is turned, they say, oh, you owe us something. Be happy with the biggest payday you ever got in your life.
Recent coverage has raised questions about Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s statement that he purchased a $42 million group of 62 rental apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. Although he publicly declared on social media that the properties are fully his, follow-up investigations point to conflicting details. In an Instagram video, he toured multiple locations and insisted the buildings were owned solely by him with no partners involved. However, property data, examined by Business Insider, reportedly shows no recorded ownership changes tied to those addresses.
Guess what? You can do the same.
All right. Well, now we're trying to figure out what happened, right, with Business Insider. So according to another update, he did ink a $402 million deal for a Black Spruce portfolio. When he said that it was all his and no one invested, he meant no one was funding his part of the investment but him. And so I think this is something where maybe he owns a piece of this or shares in it, but it hasn't changed hands because the majority owner is still the same owner that it was before. I'm trying to understand what happened with this, but I know there's a story that's circulating, so just putting it out there. Whew, it's a tough one. I'm trying to understand as a real estate person myself what exactly he is communicating when he's saying that he owns this, because they're trying to make it seem like he doesn't. But what it seems like is that he owns shares of these buildings.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. recently responded to claims that his $42 million real estate venture had caused financial strain. He insisted that he personally purchased all 62 Manhattan buildings, declaring, "I used my own money and nobody else is involved."
Yes, Floyd Mayweather has reportedly acquired 62 buildings in Upper Manhattan, spending approximately $402 million. This substantial investment was made through his real estate firm, Vada Properties, and is intended to expand his portfolio in New York City real estate market. Mayweather has expressed that this purchase holds significant personal meaning, reflecting his humble beginnings and desire to provide affordable housing options. He stated, "Growing up, I used to dream about owning just one home by myself. When you work hard, you can achieve anything. However, it's important to note that while Mayweather has announced this acquisition, some reports suggest that property records do not yet confirm a transfer of ownership. Experts speculate that he may have acquired a minority stake with options for future expansion rather than full ownership of all 62 buildings outright." In summary, Floyd Mayweather has publicly claimed to purchase 62 buildings in Upper Manhattan for $402 million, aiming to enhance affordable housing in the area. While these claims have been widely reported, the exact details and confirmation of ownership are still subject to verification. So even ChatGPT is saying, like, that's not official. Whether Mayweather is saying it or not, ChatGPT is saying it's not official. That deal has not gone through.
However, property records analyzed by Business Insider show no change in ownership, implying Mayweather may hold only a partial stake with potential options to expand later. This gap has sparked doubts about the truthfulness of his statements and whether he was misled or withholding key details. Celebrated as one of the highest-paid boxers ever, Floyd Mayweather Jr. built vast wealth through an undefeated career and masterful self-promotion. After retiring in 2017, he maintained an extravagant lifestyle, snapping up luxury homes and high-end goods. Yet reports suggest he faced major financial pressures, including a $22.2 million IRS debt from unpaid 2015 taxes. This money strain reportedly influenced his decision to return to the ring for lucrative exhibition bouts.
Floyd Money Mayweather up until recently didn't have any money, so Floyd is the highest earning athlete in his career, making over $1.1 billion. And after making a killing, he ended up retiring in 2017. However, he dug himself into a hole after making super lavish purchases like this LA mansion. It was so bad that he actually owed $22.2 million to the IRS, which made him have to come out of retirement to pay that back. Like and follow for more.
Stephen A. Smith has repeatedly expressed concern over Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s post-retirement exhibition fights. While he accepted the bout with Conor McGregor as reasonable given McGregor's combat credentials, Smith criticized later exhibitions against less skilled opponents. He argued that chasing easy paydays in these matches risks undermining the legacy Mayweather worked so hard to build.
Gotti III having any real kind of boxing background. I did not see the fight, although I heard he lost every round and Floyd Money Mayweather was whipping him pretty good. I was not there. I did not see it. I do not know. Here's what I do know, which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. You want to get Conor McGregor in the ring for an exhibition match? All right, that's fine. You know, Conor sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC. I get it. John Gotti III, I don't know anything about him. I'm not trying to disrespect him. And yes, I'm being smart. I'm not trying to disrespect the grandson of a mobster. Fair enough. But what I'm trying to say is this. When you're great, when you're elite, not just anybody deserves to be in your pristine space. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about on the street or anything like that. Boxing is your thing.
In an open interview, Stephen A. Smith pressed Floyd Mayweather Jr. on his priorities, asking if he placed his legacy above financial gain. Mayweather's answers, which emphasized his business savvy and earning potential, reinforced a perception for Smith and others that his focus had shifted from safeguarding his boxing reputation to maximizing wealth.
You made money. You're going to make a hell of a lot more money.
But the main thing is I made smart investments, and I still make millions every month.
Do you care about your boxing legacy?
More than what?
We ain't going to say more than money. We know better. We're not going to say more than money. We know better.
More than my family? No. So what's more important? My children. Because when I make this money, you know what? I put my children and my family in a position that they are entrepreneurs. They are bosses. I don't want my kids to have to answer to nobody. So I will take the long road. I will take the bumps and the bruises for them, but for my loved ones.
But fear, it's important to point this out about you. You're not just that way when it comes to your family and your children. You're that way with professional athletes. I know NBA players that have relationships with you. Professional football players that have relationships with you, etc. And the same thing that you just said that you preach to your children and your family, you've been preaching to them. That seems to be a personal mission of yours. Why?
It's about giving back. You know, I don't have to go on record and talk about the things that I do. I don't have to go on record.
Adding fuel to the debate, former UFC fighter and analyst Chael Sonnen exposed a surprising claim. He suggested that the Mayweather versus Conor McGregor fight wasn't as lucrative as it appeared. Sonnen alleged that many empty seats were filled with stand-ins to create the illusion of a sold-out arena. Having covered the event firsthand, he criticized the facade orchestrated by Mayweather's PR team.
No, Floyd's not going to do MMA, but he is going to box again. He's enjoying this attention. It's been very smart what he did. I think it surprised him. I think he was just going out to have a little bit of fun. I don't think he realized he could get 4 and 5 weeks of headlines out of this, but he does need to box again, for sure. I mean, you call it breaking news, but I will tell you unequivocally right now, Floyd Mayweather does and is planning to box one more time.
And the motivation behind getting into a ring again to box when he said he's retired, why? Why do it?
Floyd's broke. You got to understand, the only thing more embellished than Floyd Mayweather's pay-per-view numbers is Floyd Mayweather's net worth, and he made a lot of money. But remember this, it does not matter what you made, it matters what you kept, and he is a dum-dum.
So anyone, Floyd's made $1 billion. Floyd has gotten $300 million for Pacquiao, $300 million for McGregor. That might be true, but that money does not exist anymore. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, so Mike Tyson, he did real well too. Evander Holyfield, again, it's not what you made. And don't forget, boxing and MMA math, whatever that number is, you get 30% of. So 30% of $1 billion, he still did really well, but not when you're spending money like that. I mean, that's just the way it works. We've seen a progression of these guys, one after the next, that all end up the same way. And that's broke, and they're just not smart with their money. And, I mean, that's all it comes down to. I'm not even trying to bag on Floyd. Look, he's just not a very bright guy. He's surrounded with even less bright guys. This is the way it works when you're a boxer and you go spend that kind of money. If you ever buy things that cost money to own, you're going to be broke.
Even during an interview with Stephen A. Smith, Floyd Mayweather Jr. was asked whether he valued his legacy or his money more. Known for his money persona, he admitted earning over $800 million throughout his career, but emphasized that building and protecting his wealth had always been his top priority.
I've already, in the sport of boxing, I've already made somewhere upwards of $800 million.
You made money. You're going to make a hell of a lot more money.
But the main thing is I made smart investments, and I still make millions every month.
Do you care about your boxing legacy?
More than what?
We ain't going to say more than money. We know better. We're not going to say more than money. We know better.
More than my family? No. So what's more important? My children. Because when I make this money, you know what? I put my children and my family in a position that they are entrepreneurs. They are bosses.
Do you think Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s exhibition bout strengthen or weaken his legacy? Is focusing on financial gain rather than tough competition acceptable for a retired champion? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.